Looking at the situation, Amira starts to ask in her mind, why isn't Ilya Lindsay but Irene Pereira that she went to? Even Sir Virox starts to question, he has changed a lot. Do they know each other? Irene stands up and said, it has been a while, Ignet. Ignet looks down at Irene and releases a strong pressure. She said, to think you changed so much so quickly. Tell me, what has happened? The pressure was so intense that even Amira, who was a vice commander level, was affected by that. But on the other hand, Irene remains calm. Sir Gregory looks at Irene in his mind. I can feel her energy from over here too. A ferocious vigor. Irene is right in front of her, but he isn't flinching at all. He is stronger than I thought. Irene didn't say anything and just looks at Ignet. Ignet said, are you not going to tell me? Well, that is fine. She leaves and says, I will watch you more closely from now on. Irene and Ilya were silent the whole time. Ilya seems to become gloomy after she leaves. She is affected by the actions of Ignet because she didn't even glance at her. Irene looks at his friend worrying about her. Anya approached Ruru and greeted her. She said, You are Ruru, right? It is me, Anya. I missed you, Ruru. How did you change into that form? Ruru didn't say anything and snobs at Anya. She said, I am not talking to you. Anya, who was shocked of Ruru's response, asks why. Ruru angrily shouted, you and Ignet bothered Aaron. Anya was shocked and replied, huh? Anya never did that. Ruru said, what do you mean? You opened the portal and brought Ignet and bothered Irene. You don't remember. Anya remains silent. In her mind, oh that. What should I do? Ruru is Anya's first friend. Anya doesn't want to fight with Ruru. Anya told Ruru that she was sorry and she won't do it anymore. Ruru replied, whatever, I am still angry. Anya asks, what should Anya do to make Ruru not angry? Ruru replied, I don't know. Think about it until the next time we meet. Anya was saddened that her first friend was angry at her. Poor Anya. She said, okay, I will think about it until Ruru isn't angry anymore. George told Anya that they need to go now, but Anya falls to the ground saying that she is screwed now. George told Anya to get up. George looks at Aaron. In his mind, has it been 18 months? So the rumors that he had become a swordmaster are true. What an incredible rate of growth. He is insane. After the banquet, the sun starts to go down. He starts to think deeply about what happened and he summons his sword. In his mind, unlike before, I can stand in front of Ignet without trembling. To be honest, it felt great, but I felt it at the same time that I was still lacking a lot. In order to accomplish my will, to make my ideals become reality, to make sure my dreams don't stay as just dreams, I am going to do my best. Aaron was panting from the continuous slashes he made while thinking about his aspirations, but Ilya, on the other hand, was also thinking about what happened while looking at the sky. A few days later, all of the soldiers gathered in one area for the orientation of their dungeon expedition. The one who is orienting them is Amira. Amira said, all right, before we head to the dungeon, I will brief you all on the expedition. The dungeon we will be going to has 2 entrances. So the expedition part will be split into 2 teams which will raid both sides at the same time. Expedition Team 1 will be made up of Labat, Palenque, and Calvin. Our commander will be Sir Perry Martins. Expedition Team 2 will be made up of all members of the Black Knights. Their commander will be the commander of the Black Knights, Ignet Crescentia. Sir Virox, on the other hand, has a dark and gloomy aura, like he is carrying something in his mind. So one soldier whispers and asks, hey, what is wrong with Sir Virox's expression? The soldier replied, you didn't hear? 4 days ago, there was a meeting where they were deciding on the commanders for the expedition teams. Ignet made it clear that she wanted that position, however Sir Virox was very against it, and in the end, their argument turned into a spar. The soldier asks what is the result. The other soldier replied, it was miserable. It ended with Ignet's overwhelming victory. The difference in strength was enormous. Sir Perry Martins believes that he is currently at an advantage compared to the Palenque, but he acknowledges that he still faces a hindrance in his plan for the final looting. In his mind, Sevian Virox, that guy, he acted out and just reinforced the decision. Anyways, as long as Ignet is here, competing against the Holy Kingdom will be too much for us. I need to win against Palenque and Calvin. Judging from Sevian's condition, I don't need to worry about Palenque. The problem is those guys from Calvin. Now they're at the dungeon's first entrance, led by Sir Perry Martins. Amira was shaking while they were still outside. She asked Sir Gregory if they are going in right now. Sir Gregory laughed and said, Amira, calm down. You are the vice commander, so you shouldn't show them that you are nervous. Sir Perry Martins shouted, Expedition Team 1 is entering. Then Sir Perry Martins starts to enter slowly in the dark entrance of the dungeon. But as he walked slowly inside, the soldiers behind him started to disappear and he was only left inside of the darkness. He said, Huh? Is it a trial? I knew it wasn't going to be a normal dungeon, but to think it would turn out to be an ancient temple. While walking deeply, he thinks about how to overcome this trial. In his mind, the strange phenomenon that appears within an ancient temple. The trials. Those who enter the temple will face a trial given by God. What you need to do in the sudden darkness is to not be swept away by the endless amount of doubt and anxiety. You need to confidently walk your own path. But those who are anxious are engulfed by darkness and lose the path at that moment and destroy themselves. We are going to have a lot of soldiers who will be engulfed by this darkness at the beginning. On the other hand, Sir Sevian Virox experienced the same and started to question if this was a god trial. Then he suddenly noticed that he was in the middle of a war with dead bodies of soldiers on the ground. Then some soldiers suddenly came in running, which he slashes down and turns out just to be an air of illusion. In his mind, I need to get a hold of myself. The Civil War ended 30 years ago. This is not real. It is an illusion. Don't be swept away by the darkness. I need to strengthen my resolve and move forward. It seems like that is the exit. Then when he came out from the darkness, he saw Perry Martins standing and waiting. He said, Perry, it seems like you made it. Then I am the second? Then someone suddenly said, Oh, another person has come. Hearing that made Sir Virox starts to question, What? Did someone else arrive before me? The one who says a while ago is actually Ruru, who looks disappointed because the one who come out in the trial of God is not Aaron. Sir Virox was so shocked that he started to question in his mind, Ilya Lindsay. How did she get here faster than me? Sir Perry looks at him. In his mind, he looks so speechless. I understand what you are thinking, Sevian, since I was also very shocked. To think that the first person to pass the trial was Ilya Lindsay, the one whose mind is in the most disarray. That day, I saw it properly. At the hall, Ilya Lindsay was completely ignored by Ignet. She seemed really shaken. Did she have a change of heart? Then the number of soldiers who passed the God of Trials starts to rise. But out of the three kingdoms, the one that was greatly affected by it is the Calvin kingdom. Amira said, A lot of time has passed, but less than half of our group has made it out. Sir Gregory observes the situation, and his soldiers start to lose morale, making it difficult to continue. In his mind, this is not great. I expected as much, but to think the difference compared to other kingdoms is this large. However, what is even more unexpected is that Irene Pereira has yet to come out. I thought he would be the first person to pass the trial. Sir Perry calls out Sir Gregory. He says, Gregory, we cannot wait any longer. We need to get going now. It is a trial given by the merciful God, so those who are engulfed by darkness will not be gravely injured. Sir Gregory replied, I have no choice. I can no longer hinder the party. Then someone suddenly said, Let's believe in them a little longer. When Sir Perry looks back, he was confused to see that it was Ilya Lindsay. Sevian Virox asks, Miss Lindsay, what do you mean? Ilya replied, I am saying we should trust them and wait a little longer. Isn't the main point of this trial to be able to conquer all doubt, anxiety, and distrust with belief and trust? She added, I think that is not only about the trust in yourself, but the trust of others is also needed. Sir Perry said, That is a great opinion, however, we cannot delay time any further. Then some soldier who was waiting at the gate shouted that someone is coming out. The soldiers are shouting that the one who is heading out is Irene Pereira. Aaron was holding his sword that was shining while he said, I am sorry, I am a little late. There was a situation inside. Sir Perry cannot believe that Aaron was able to come out. And the best part is that all of the soldiers that were trapped in the trial were with Irene. 2 hours ago, before the appearance of Irene and the soldiers, one soldier was panicking and shouting, What? I can't see anything. Where is everyone? Can you not hear me? Then he slipped and fell. He was asking someone to not abandon him. He stood up and ran faster, but the more he ran, the more he sank deeper into the dark water. Then he saw a light, and at that moment he thought he was saved. In his mind, but what is this sensation? I feel more peaceful when I get closer to the light. It is warm and reassuring. What is this light? And that light was actually from the sword of Irene, who offered him help. He told Sir Gregory that is how all of them were able to come out of the darkness. Amira was also shocked to hear that. She said, "Amazing. To think he was able to intervene in the god's trial. Is that even possible?" But Amira was scolded by Sir Gregory because she was too loud. Sir Gregory looks at Irene in his mind. "I have never heard of a human that was able to intervene in the god's trial. That boy is special. An aura that lightens up the surroundings. It is an energy that I have never felt from another swordmaster." He also looks at Perry Martins. In his mind, Perry looks annoyed. Since a boy who is much younger than him did something amazing, as the commander, his pride should be hurt. But you have no choice but to admit it. The party is centered around Irene Pereira. Sir Perry Martins is the commander. He shouted, "Everyone, get ready quickly. We will resume the expedition." Sir Virox warns the soldiers that they don't have an idea on what creatures might pop up, so he tells them to be careful while they are moving forward. And their battle with the monster in the dungeon started with Sir Perry eradicating the monsters. Golems appeared as their enemies. Perry Martins shouted, "A large number of golems at the front line. Everyone, into position. All troops, aim your attacks towards the front line." Then all of the magicians cast a fire spell that pushes the golems away. Perry cast a spinning light spell and threw it in the heads of the golems that killed them instantly. Sir Virox also releases an upward slash that destroys the upper body of the golem. He shouted, "Destroy the red stones on their heads and obliterate the golems." Irene and Ilya also were doing their jobs in exterminating the golems, and they were able to slice them into small pieces. Perry Martins asks the soldier if everyone is all right. The soldiers told him that everyone was safe and there were no casualties. Sir Perry told them that it was a good sign and they can now continue advancing their journey. But as they walked forward, Perry Martins felt something strange. In his mind, "With this, we have cleared all 5 battles safely. We are cruising through, but why? Why do I keep having strange feelings?" But as they continued to walk, he felt an intense fear and he was shivering like he felt something down his spine. They saw a pile of skeletons of humans. He is asking, "What is that?" They saw some sort of ritual place that was full of bones. Everyone was panicking. They are shouting, "What on earth is this place? What the hell happened here?" Even Irene, Ilya, and Ruru felt something strange in the place. The soldiers start to panic in fear. They shouted, "They are all human skeletons. No, this is ominous. We need to get out of here." Sevian Virox shouted, "Everyone, be quiet. Don't be distressed. We can't spread anxiety." But suddenly all of them heard an ominous laugh and felt a strong energy that even a swordmaster Sevian Virox made shiver and sweating from fear. A dark portal appeared and someone slowly pops up with his long nails peeking at them. It was actually the clown demon that appeared. Perry and Sevian were sweating and insisted that there was no way it was possible for it to happen. The demon clown smiled and said, "To think you came in here on your own feet. Thanks for making it easier for me. For that, I will give you the gift of death." Irene's light aura, on the other hand, starts to shine brighter seeing that demon clown.